Welcome back to another episode of Your True Sons. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Rutland. I'm here with Sean Weatherspoon, Jeremy Macklin, and we have another guest this week, Will Franklin, aka the Helicopter. Join the bill. You ain't heard that in a while, have you? We ain't forget
Why
you
is
used to
there
fly.
years, man?
I know, I ain't forget. I'm gonna tell you
Hey,
why.
man.
But we're glad to have you on the show, brother. How you been? Will
Hey,
Franklin?
wait. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us how you been. What on? Real quick helicopter story. Real quick. I was going into my sophomore year at Kirkwood. Will's going into his senior year down in Vashon. We go down and we play them in a summer league basketball game. And my dog windmill with somebody on top of his back. Unreal. A 17-year-old doing that in high school was unreal. Unreal. My
Hey,
bad,
look.
Will. How you doing though, man?
We all got probably a helicopter story. How you doing, though, Will?
Man, I've been doing good, man. Blessed, happy. One, thank y'all for letting me be on the show, man. Been watching this and following, man, since you guys got started. So it's an honor.
Man, we're glad to have you, man. Where you living these days? You in St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm back home in St. Louis, man.
Back home. We got two homegrown kids, man. Two St. Louis kids that really came to Mizzou. Just really had an imprint on that program, man, on that university, and on us individually. So I'll give my quick helicopter story. You know how we used to do the dunk contest at Mizzou, like right after camp.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
be honest with you, like when I got there, I was like, I don't really know who athletic like that, man. He ain't really jumping like that. Nobody really got it until he got on that rim. I said, okay. It was about, and look, I promise you, I felt like it was probably four guys who I was like, yeah, they got some athletes. And you were number one on that list. And it was early. I said, yo, he running too? And he come out and hit a couple 4 threes. I said, all right, now it's legit. He can run and he can fly. He can run and he can fly, man. He can run and he can fly. So what you got? What you doing in St. Louis right now? Go ahead.
You know who made me nervous though?
Who?
Genario.
Oh yeah.
I
The
say,
way he jumped.
hey, I went to Coach Ivan. I say, Coach Ivan, he got my vertical record. What I need to do? I
I
go
need
time
it
like
back.
you gotta keep working. I wasn't really listening. I'm like, Coach Ivan, he a freshman.
He a kid. He's
He a
17.
kid. I've been here working my tail off, dog. Like he didn't walked in and then I say, oh man, the dog,
Hey man, look.
there was my one. Dog. I was just like, dang, dog, like you had your
Yeah.
shot, boy.
Had your shot, man. So
Had my
look,
shot.
hey, look, all good records are made broken. So it's all right, dog. You know what I mean? You had your time. It's all good. So what you up
For
to now in
sure.
St. Louis?
Man, just sitting back here, high school coaching, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm in
Yes, sir.
my 6th year as being a high school head coach. I'm in my second program. I went back to my alma mater after I
Mm-hmm.
left Mizzou. I was at Mizzou from 14 to the end of 18, 19 as
Mm-hmm.
a coordinator of player development. And I wanted to get into coaching. I'll never forget the conversation that I had with Coach Pinkel about wanting to get into the college game. And his recommendation to me is you need to get some coaching experiences. And I thought about it, but I stuck around the program for the next couple of years. And from that point on, it's just like, no, I think I can do it. But as I was sitting there through the transition of Coach Pinkel to Coach Oldham, I
Mm-hmm.
started building out my programs, my off-season workout programs, how to build a culture, of course, the offensive playbook. You know what I'm saying? I went back and just snapped all the playbooks I had from my playing days in college, pros.
Mm-hmm.
Odom was the one who told me, like, you need to go sit in the offense, in the defensive room. You know offense, like you played offense. To really be a coach, you need to go somewhere else. So I ended up going into the D-line room
Mm-hmm.
to learn defense. They told me if you really want to learn defense, you learn the box. You can throw the back end. So I went and sat in the D line room, and that's when I really hands on got to see like what D line zoo was about.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like man, we putting some dudes out, you know what I mean? So I'm going in, I'm just like, oh, these dudes nutcases in this room. Like that ain't like the other position room. Like our room, we kind of chill. We man,
They
that D
different.
line room, hey man, they was in there tussling with each other. I'm like, man, what's going
Different.
on? But
D-line always different. Yeah.
D line always different. You know what I mean? So for me, I was able to sit there and for 2 years, I sat with Brick Haley in that room. I was able to sit and talk with Odom to learn the backers and what backers can do. And then the back end, Ryan Walters kind of, you know what I mean, gave me an opportunity to learn all of it once he became the
Mm-hmm.
DC there. And for me, it was just
Coach
like, all
Walters,
right,
yeah.
I think I'm ready. And from there, the opportunity came. A friend of mine, Tony Ernst, was calling me like, man,
Yeah.
you need to come back and get this football program. You need to come back and get this football program. I was just like, so I let a year pass, and then I took a chance on myself, and I got back to my alma mater, man, and my dog right here, man. I got back there. I'm like, man, we ain't got no uniform, we ain't got nothing. So I called back. I was like, hey, man, what you got? Well, man, and so my dog was still playing. He was in Baltimore. He was at Baltimore at the time when
Yeah,
I took the
Baltimore.
job. So we would talk. I had already had done youth football back in St. Louis at one point, which is where one of the fellow guys who just, he just completed his rookie year, Luther Burden, was one of the
Mm-hmm.
first kids that I started coaching. And he was 8, 9 years old when I got him. Just pretty much worked that way on up into what he became and who he is right now. That was my first introduction to like I can really do this. See that product develop into what he later became into who he is today. And they gave me the belief after I put all these things together. And here I am with my 6th year, being a head coach, built that program over in Rashad. Here I am, my year 2, trying to build this one over here at U City.
You said it. You said it. Look, man. So we got 3 former coaches on the
Well,
show.
current.
I'm sorry.
Current
I'm sorry.
coach.
3 current coaches, 3
Third,
former players, all current coaches on the show. You, Spoon, and J Mac. Man, that's one similarity. And we all went to Mizzou. What brought you to Mizzou in the first place? Because you talked about playing there and in coaching there and giving back there, but what brought you there in the first place?
so my high school basketball team, we was kind of like freaking flyers in Columbia. One of my high school teammates, well, 2 of them, but Jimmy was already gone. He was already a freshman there. But Arnold Britt was a receiver at Mizzou. He was the quarterback at Vashon. And so
Mm.
when I was going through my recruiting process, he was one of the guys that was like talking to me. I was heavy on Michigan. Our school was a Wolverines, and me and Mario, man, and some of them guys, we was up there on visits a lot, and I really was going to go to Michigan. And then they threw one of my good friends later on, Damian Nash, into the picture. In St. Louis, Damian Nash was like a guy, what I mean? So
Yeah.
when Damian Nash got to being involved in the recruitment, it was just like, I can chance to play with him. So it was just like, for me, it was just like, all right, what I mean? And I started spending a little more time down there, going down there, checking out some games, being able to stay with those guys after my season, and it just felt right. Coach Hill and Coach Ford were like my 2 main recruiters, and it got so bad with Coach Ford, man. He would come to the school and they'll make an announcement like, "Can you send Will Franklin down to the office?" And I get there, and as I walked in the hallway, people like, "Your daddy here, your daddy here." I'm like, "My daddy?" Like, and I get there, Coach Ford to be in like a little jacket or something, all sharp. He just standing there, y'all know how Coach Ford is,
Yeah.
man. He all sharp and proper talking. I'm just like, what's up, big dog? Man, just talking with him. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like a joke when he come to the school, like, your daddy here, your daddy here. So, but to rewind that to start, man, my sophomore year, I only played 2 years of high school football. My sophomore year, I went to a Mizzou camp, and it was at WashU. We were doing all the little combine drills and things, and I ran 4 or 5 as a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point on, they like, who is this kid? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I ended up transferring schools. When I transferred school, they ruled me ineligible my junior year. But Mizzou was the only school that offered me my junior year, and
Mm-hmm.
they stayed consistent. And so
You
for
know,
me,
you
it was
didn't
just
play
like,
that year.
no, even though I didn't play that year. So
Okay.
they offered me, man. I took that back then when they were offering, they'll send you that letter, right?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I put the letter inside a Ziploc bag, and I would carry it around the school like I got off. I got off. Like I was excited. And
Ziploc bag.
in the Ziploc bag, like
What had that
give me
work?
some.
Yeah.
Man, for real. So I would carry the offer around the school, what I mean, just to keep me from going through depression, what I mean, because I couldn't play. And that's the first time in my
Yes.
life I had not played, right? And so that whole year I practiced in football, even though I knew I couldn't play. I transitioned to basketball, even though I couldn't play. Track, I ran track, even though I couldn't play. So I did all the stuff with all the teams, but I never was able to play. So my senior year, man, I know we can't say I went crazy. Like it was
Yeah.
like personal, because I didn't. And then next thing you know, offers just they come from everywhere. The spring going into my senior year, I went down to Auburn for Nike camp. And there was like Deshaun. That's when the first time I met Deshaun Jackson and some of these other guys, man. And
Mm-hmm.
it was crazy because I didn't RP to Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius Johnson was one of the kind of ones that kind of like got me down there. He actually was the one that paid someone to drive me down there. And that was the first time like I had really been alone from home. And I
Mm-hmm.
get down there, and I went crazy. Like so, I went to the season number one receiver in Missouri, not playing off of year two. The number one season receiver in Missouri, number two player in Missouri behind Daryl Jackson, and I was like in the top 30 of like athletes in the area in the country at the time at their position.
Mm-hmm.
So to not come off nothing, I was pretty excited. My first game against the SMAC, I went 4 for 275 and 4 touchdowns.
Yo, chill out.
Against the Smith.
Like the very first game, like it was crazy. In warm ups, I dropped every ball in warm up. I was so nervous that I hadn't played the game, and this was my first time wearing a Vashon uniform.
Yeah.
It was kind of surreal. I didn't like. It was almost like an out of body experience. I didn't know what I was doing. All that led me to Mizzou because they were the only one offering me. And so when all the schools started coming in, it was crazy because every day it was a school coming in doing their open periods. It was a
Mm-hmm.
school that steady rolling in. Like the school was already known for basketball, but wasn't no one coming for football. So at that time, the Big Ten ran the Midwest. So it was
Yeah.
guys like Wisconsin, Michigan State. That's when Saban was at Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
You name it. So a bunch of St. Louis guys was going to the Big Ten. Illinois was big at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when Pink and them got there, which I think I was their second recruiting class. That's when they started getting traction. And Nash was one of the first ones, and he was coming from JUCO, he was in Coffeyville, but he was just the dude in the area, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to play with him. I went to a high school because of him. Yeah, and so that was one of the reasons. Even when Mac we went to get two, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
wanted to get two. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I was just like, man, like
So, first of all, I'm a backtrack. Still coaching in high school in St. Louis has been an awesome thing for St. Louis football.
Mm-hmm.
He took over, like you said, his alma mater, made them relevant. Not that they weren't relevant, but like competing at a high level, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
took over another program, man, and got him, 9-1, 10-1, and competing at a high level again. So kudos to him for what he's been able to do in the coaching world.
A
He's
difference
also
maker,
1-0
yeah.
against me, right? He did have one of the best players in the nation, but that's a different story.
He got
We
you
let it
back.
slide.
Yeah, bro. Hey, Spoon, we was up 27-6 in the fourth quarter and lost. But that's bad coaching by me.
Or good coaching by Will. Which one was
But-
it?
but again, he did say something. You know, like I had a kid, man. He's at Oregon right now. He
Dear
played
him.
at two freshmen, man. Like he was the kid
Special.
was a man child. Yeah,
What
he's
position?
special.
I don't know if we
Running back.
I don't know if I knew he was going to be as good as he is, but speed wise, he was moving at a different speed than anybody else on the field. Like it was. I've seen. There's been 4 players I've seen in person that have been different type of kids. De'Aaron Hill, Jeremiah Love,
Jeremiah Love. Yep.
Obviously, yeah.
Luther Burton, and Jacob
Obviously.
Edwards, the kid I just had. Those have been the 4 best players I've seen in this area in person, live and on the field. But
So
I
you
yeah,
agree with that list.
you say what?
So you lost.
I agree with
Gotcha.
that list for
Yeah.
sure.
I
Like
lost. Oh yeah, we lost. But no, man, like I said, salute to you, flowers from that standpoint. I think he was about to tell y'all the Nash story. So this is how small St. Louis is, man. So Damian Nash went to Riverview Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Riverview Gardens head coach at the time was Sunkett, who's now the head coach at East St. Louis, who is now a nationally ranked football team, mostly from this area. Well, Riverview ended up winning state, or going to state or winning state, I believe, Damian Nash's senior year.
Yep.
Which
Junior
happens
year.
junior year, which
Yep.
happened to be my brother Andre, my oldest brother's senior
Yeah.
year at Kirkwood. Right?
Okay.
Mhm.
They played Riverview Gardens in the semifinals and lost 14-7.
Ah.
They ran the trick play. You run to the sideline, you don't know the call. Dude take off down the sideline.
Got
Damian Nash caught the game-winning pass on my brother.
Come on, dog.
Wow.
I never knew that.
Yeah, caught the game-winning
I never
pass
knew
on my
that.
brother. And they had another one who was the guy that went to Illinois from that team?
The quarterback, he went to the league too. Christian,
What's his name? But
man,
but that's
I
how
hate to bad
small
his
St.
name, 'cause
Louis
he-
is,
he-
man.
he
Crazy.
was great. He was great. He ended up making the league. I think he played receiver too.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
but
They say he had some pros on.
Will took number two from me. But
Yeah,
there's
I
a
think
story
yeah,
behind it. But I was hot,
yeah,
boy. I was so mad at
yeah,
Will.
You mean the
I was
jersey
yeah,
number?
hot. Boy, I was hot.
yeah. So the year going to my senior, Nash passed, and so I had played in his charity game, and we were actually about to go hang out after the charity game. He dropped me off at home. We stayed around the corner for each other back here in St. Louis. So he
Mm-hmm.
dropped me off, and it wasn't even 30 minutes before like my phone started ringing, like Nash is gone, Nash is gone. Now I'm like, he just dropped me off, and
Yeah.
sure enough, he had a heart attack. And it's a disease that's a trait that's in his family that um, that he was actually doing an event for, which was awareness of the disease, the heart disease, for his brother who had just had a heart transplant, and he passed from that
Wow.
same disease. And so for me, him being someone that was dear to me, I had asked, can I honor my senior year by wearing his number? Because I
Mm-hmm.
was wearing three. Three was my number.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so senior year, that was my reason of wearing two, which I knew Mac wanted, but I
You got to
wanted to
give
pay
it up, Matt.
respect to.
I didn't know the story behind it at first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here I am, two came available. I was two in high school.
Yep.
Will been three the last 3 years there. Why is
3
he switching his
years.
senior year?
Killing with it too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he took number two. I call home, man, took my number, man. I'm hot. But then he explained to me the story, and I'm like, I can't be mad at that. And of course, my rest of freshman year at number 9, I have a huge season.
You can't
Yeah.
change
Can go
now.
back from
I
that.
can't.
Yeah. It was over
I don't
with.
want number 2 now. And they end up going to Cornell, running back.
It's retired now, you
Yeah,
know? It
Yeah.
needs to be.
Yeah.
Real
It
talk.
should be
But yeah,
retired. It
that's
should be
another story.
retired.
Be
So look,
retired.
Will, tell us about some of your early times at Mizzou. You first get there, St. Louis kid with a lot of buzz around the name. What's it like stepping on campus, and how did you handle that early on?
Man, honestly, when I got there, the team had just came up a bowl loss to Arkansas in the Independence Bowl. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of a little buzz around us. We had a great defense that year. Future, C.J. Mosley, Atia Ellis,
Mm-hmm.
James Kenny, Jason Simpson. There was some guys over there on defense, like some terrified looking guys, man. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of happy to be around. But in the receiving room, for me, it was just like, man, I wanted to play. Like in my mind going into it, I was just like, man, I'm leaving in 3 years. Like that was like my goal. Like leaving in three. Like it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. So I went from a 4 to 2 within a couple weeks of camp. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody's like, oh man, this kid can really play. And for me, that kind of started like the wildness of being in college. Like at the time, I was the only freshman playing, and
Mm-hmm.
out of the freshman class, so my freshman class was Willie Moe, Striker Sulak, Tony Temple, and some other guys. So
Some
for
guys,
me,
yeah.
there were some guys. I was playing, so everybody on campus, they later burnt Tony's shirt because he started having back issues.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a whirlwind because I really wasn't a normal freshman like everybody else, man. I had to travel every week, do all the
Fridays you
other things.
gone, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gone, and it really was a kind of a waste of a year for me because I really didn't get that many snaps. But one game that really stood out to me was when we played. We went down to Troy, and that's when we found out who DeMarcus Ware was.
We found out.
Like, so, you hear about guys in college, and at that time,
Mm.
wasn't no social media, so you just like, you read
Yeah.
the articles and you get papers at the time.
Yeah.
So we just talking about Troy. We just like, we 14 in the country at the time. Like,
Okay.
we was really good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we was projected to win the Big 12 that year. North, it was us and Kansas State, and we go into Troy, and that man single-handedly beat us. And I was just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
seen one person, like, and we had
Mm-hmm.
Brad, who we thought was Superman, like, with
He
this,
was. Yeah.
that, man, oh my God, like, Brad was something awesome, man. Like, you talking about one of the great genuine people
Mm-hmm.
from start to bottom. That was the first guy there's a lot of stuff college guys do in college. He ain't do nothing college guys did in college. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
thought that
heard he
was
was
like,
different.
he was different. I'm just like, and so for me, I would look at him like, okay, I want to be like what he was. Like, he didn't
Mm-hmm.
hang out downtown. You know what I mean? He's always in the playbooks. He always doing something extra. So I kind of watch him. So I didn't really get off into like the stuff everybody else was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of my old time there. Like I didn't see the benefits of stuff. I just took on to it and kind of started hanging with a lot of bunch of older guys. Had Tyrone Rosen, he was a running back. Of course, my roommate AB. I didn't stay on campus my freshman year. I ended up being the only freshman not on campus. I stayed off campus.
How you pull
How?
that off?
Yeah,
Yeah, how you
Yeah.
pull that one off?
being one of y'all, being the
The
dude.
helicopter.
You know, like, and that was kind of the question of the guys, like, man, how, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just being mature, you know what I mean? Doing some of the other things. And so that was a unique, but going into the sophomore year, we changed the offense and we went from a traditional, pro style offense to spread. And so things started to change for me. I went from not playing a lot to in the spring when we changed the offense, I started going crazy because it went no
Always.
huddle, it's tempo,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and I just knew I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a year. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I ended up bulking up, putting on some weight. When I tore my meniscus that spring, because I had picked up so much weight on that creatine.
I'm on
Oh,
that
that,
creatine.
I picked up because I wasn't trying to drink no more of them shakes, man. Them shakes would turn me up, man.
Gatorade shakes. Yeah.
Hey, man,
Nah.
I was like, no more shakes, man.
I mean
I
anything
got with
else. Yeah.
Coach.
Tear your
Hey, man,
stomach up.
I got with Coach Hype. Coach Hype was like, well, you got to drink a lot of water, but I ended up picking
Yeah.
up a lot of weight quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew going into that year that it was going to be a special year. But then we get to that July workout, and that's when we lost AO.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's when like stuff really started to like dial in or like taking stuff more serious. At that time, I just thought I'm gonna be a starter. Like I ain't really paying attention to like the real life grind of like
Mm-hmm.
being a college football player. I just knew I was talented. I knew I was gonna be starting, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
take it serious until AO passed. And when AO passed, it changed everything around Mizzou. I think that's when we became like tighter as a program because the next year when you guys came in, like it went this way.
Mm-hmm.
But AO, that situation changed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our lives. You know, we was there in that summer workout. So having that and having to sit in and go through that, a lot of guys, just a lot of guys that came in our class. And AO was someone I didn't have a car. AO was someone I would ride home with because he was a St. Louis guy from Parkway North. So he was one of the
Mm-hmm.
guys that, you know what I mean, like I would jump in the car with me, like I'm going to the crib. I'm like, all right, I'm coming. You know what I mean?
Bet.
And so I actually rode home with him that last weekend. See him and Tony Temple. We rode home together, and I didn't see him again until that incident happened. And when I seen it, he was on the training room bed, and cold laying there, and that kind of changed some things for me. And I wanted to overcome on like I got to get out of here. My mom was like, I'm really leaving after this year because there was just a lot. I watched some teammates no longer be themselves uh, who were really close to him. Again, I went in the dorms with a lot of guys, so I didn't get that natural relationship with a lot of the guys in my class early on because I was hanging with all the older guys. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make sure that I stay on because the older guys, like, man, you can't do what they doing. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so those guys, man, I watched a lot of guys that was really with him really lose themselves, man. So I just locked in, and when you guys came, I was happy because I now have one of the older guys in the room, and I knew how important it was, like just to do the right things because I've been around Brad and T. Rose and some of the
Mm-hmm.
other guys at AB, like man, just do the right thing. That really kind of started everything else for me.
Right on, man. Go ahead, Smoke.
Well, I definitely want to talk. You mentioned something. You said when you guys went from the traditional pro style offense to the spread offense, and I think the year you mentioned it was the year Chase Daniel came in. Am I correct?
Yep, that's
I know you got a chance, so you got a chance to play with Brad and as well with Chase Daniel. Can you talk a little bit about that transition into that spread offense and kind of how things started to shift? You know, when you just knew everybody was going to get the ball. You know, from the standpoint of passing it. You know, I know Brad was taking off, throwing it. He
hey
was doing
man,
everything. He was a show in itself. But how was
Mm-hmm.
it playing with Chase, and how did that change things in the outlook of Missouri?
hey, I love Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, I love you to death, but as a receiver, when CD got there, man, it was like everyone knew like they started getting chased series. Like everyone knew, like, all right, when he get in, the ball is getting
The
passed.
ball
So
coming
we
out.
would get excited. Like we would get excited, and we started off that year pretty good, man. Like, and we ran into Texas, and that's the year Texas won the national championship. You know what I mean? And
in
so for me,
in
it was
'05.
Columbia.
like,
In Columbia,
man, it
Frank,
was, hey,
I was at that game. That game.
man.
Go ahead, keep going. But that game,
Hey,
like,
I
hey,
was watching.
that's when I realized, like, this young that
in the
Man,
10.
listen, man, like, man, I'm used to Brad. So I'm this
Yeah.
our hero, like, are we in trouble? Like Brad's gonna get us out. Like, man, it was
Mm-hmm.
a play, man, we had them back. It was 3rd and 39.
oh
I
man,
remember. Yep.
wow.
Hold on. Wait. What happened?
This man ran for 41 yards, man. Hey, so DeQuincy Howard talking about this was the place that's NCAA came. He say, hey, he post saved. You know what a guy
He got an angel
The-
on him.
he's like, DQ say, man, you see him post saved.
he post saved.
And so, man, and we all, man,
Oh.
that roster they had was like, it was crazy. But Chase gave us hope, like, as receiver, like, man, we got a chance. Like, when he get in, we would move the ball. And so going into junior year, like, I knew I was going to get balls.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
they moved
Pause.
me from, I used to be a slot. When Brad, I was a slot. And so junior year, they moved me to the outside. We graduated some guys, and then it was me, X, J. Ray, Hopkins, and then some other
Tommy,
Mm-hmm.
guys. So
Tommy.
yeah, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Brace
I
T.
can't. I don't know how I forget Tommy, but
And your tight ends.
y'all,
Yeah.
J. Yeah, J. Mac, Mario, and JP
Perry.
came in.
Yeah.
Perry.
So
Perry.
for
Yeah.
me, it's just like, oh, our receiver room deep now because we got some real ball players. Like
Yeah.
we ain't. It went like the first two groups of the room with me, where it's like you top heavy. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we should have rock and roll because
Yeah.
we got Chase. You know,
Yeah.
so everything else turned into what people call one of the greatest teams because we took off from there, man. And my junior year was probably one of my better years in college. Which also was me. I was really finna leave.
I was trying to get it. I told you I was
But it was
pretty out.
bubbling too. Like you know what's on the brink
You
too.
knew he was about to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was there, man. It was there, man. Until, man, the shoulder injury in the Iowa State game, I was like, honestly, I was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I had already like been talking to coach them about it. Like I was like ready to take off, because of the depth. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted a new start, man.
It's a
Like that
lot on
was,
you. Yeah.
yeah, I had never experienced that. You know what I mean? In a
Mm-hmm.
sport, like, we started
Yeah.
growing up, you're gonna experience depth. In a sport, I had never experienced that. For me, that was hard. So I was just trying to
Mm-hmm.
get out of there. When I was in the decision mode, Ruff would call me a lot. Would call me a lot.
Uh,
Men would call me a lot. Guys was calling me because I ended up being at home. Like I had tore my shoulder. So after the bowl game, when me and Matt
Mm-hmm.
standing there watching everybody in the bowl game, like
Yeah.
trying to do in the bowl game, man, I was just over there just like, man, this it.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
out.
it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was out. And everybody would start calling me, man. And Coach Baker would call, Coach Hill would call, just trying to see what I was going to do. And I didn't know. But then we ended up having a meeting, man. Mac, it was a restaurant or something. And I was like, man, I'm going to come back. And we ended up having a meeting. And at that point, man, like, I had really gave up on, like the individual stuff. I was just like, man, I just want to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that made me, you know what I mean, really just like pour it all into like, man, let's make sure we just win this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my senior compared to y'all and J Mac, you ain't make to yours, but I don't think no one had a better senior year than what we did
Yeah.
my senior year, man.
I
Special.
think. Yeah. I think you said it best, man. When you can put what's important and prioritize what's important. At that time for you,
Mm-hmm.
it was winning. It was seeing it through. It was
Mm-hmm.
like being able to like say I was here when it was here, and I was here when it was here. And like
Right.
I can say for myself, and I know Denario and JP would say the same. Like it's so crazy to me because like when you come in as freshmen, and right, this is no shade at anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you come in as freshmen and you see Eck and you see J Ray and you see all these guys, and I'm like, these are good football players. But
Mm-hmm.
then you get on the field, and now we're able to do stuff, and you got me and Denario and JP, and then you telling us, man, we ain't got nothing like y'all here. And like that just goes to show you like the way like where Mizzou was going. And then you combine that with the stable of running backs, you combine that with the tight ends, you combine that with Chase Daniel. Like we argue about this all the time. And I do think the trenches make a difference. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think that I can speak offensively. I just don't know how you get better than what we had that 07 year, top to bottom, right? The Mackey
Now we
Award
talking
winner,
about roster.
2-time All-American,
not roster,
Hall of Famer, Heisman Trophy, another Mackey finalist, another like it don't.
Right. Come on,
you had 4 receivers
Countless
playing NFL from that roster. It's
Me and Spoon got to be on the
That
other
group
side
was
of that.
special.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, look,
Iron
y'all
sharpen
never
iron.
wanted to practice.
Hey, we didn't.
That same year, when Matt got cleared, like y'all ain't win no practice, bro.
We probably got one.
Hey,
Hey
go
man, hey, I don't know. Hey, they was writing a whole bunch of stories about me. That's all I can say about nothing else. I just remember one article say, "A baby shall lead them." So I grew up very quick, and I'm thankful that I had a
what's
That's
chance
a
to go
fact.
against
That's
y'all
a fact.
guys to get me ready. You know what I'm saying?
what's up.
But
That's awesome.
Listen,
on defense, we were uber talented.
Yes.
I just think we just didn't have that. You need that 40 to 40 mentality. Got to show up like you show up in the red zone. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what I think. But I think also when you go to the spread offense and you in the Big 12 and you touchdown, we out there. You know what I'm saying?
We was lighting it up, man.
Yeah.
But
That was
practice
tough.
used
That
to
was
be
tough.
wars, man. Like there was wars, man. Like I know a receiver role and Mac even like, man, we was ready every day we stepped out there.
Yeah.
Like, every day with Coach Hill. Coach
I
Hill
will
had us
admit,
on point.
I've never seen a receiver group that competitive. And I'm not saying like talent-wise. I'm saying you mix talent with like a dog. I've never seen a group like that. You knew you got like, oh, he is a dog. The entire group every day came. I'm like, yo, they trying to kill us. What's going on? What's wrong with them?
Yeah, what's so
They
crazy,
meant it, though.
man,
Yeah.
like we leave a room and we'll be like, if y'all don't come out here on that soft today, like
I don't.
like
I'm telling you,
like
that's
that's like, and then you got me and Denario talking about how many pancakes we're gonna get while we blocking our linebackers.
Straight up. Yeah.
The mother linebackers.
Hey man, look, we took pride like for me, dog, I would say like the first game in St. Louis, I scored. That's when Mac got into like I went like 2 games without like 2 or 3 games without a ball. We was blocking so hard for everybody who touched the ball.
Yeah.
Like we didn't care. Like didn't nobody like, man, listen, whoever touched the ball, we got a chance to score. So do your job.
And I loved our running backs. I mean, the way y'all blocked really was impressive because they had a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were home run guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
guys, man, hey, y'all was about that life, dog. And I know the running backs
man.
truly appreciated that.
Oh yeah.
We took that personal, dog. Like it for me, I would say just trying to be an older guy, man. Like I just wanted to make sure, like I leave my mark whenever this thing blow up. Like these guys are going to be way better than me. You know what I mean? But let me just leave my mark amongst this talented group, and then they do the same thing to the guys behind them. That's what was given to me. Like, man, leave. Don't you a dude, man? Be a dude. Don't be the ass dude. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, just be the dude. Like, you ain't got to do all that action. Just be a dude, man. I was honored to be among that group and just in the team because, again, I was mentally kind of checked out early on. You know what I mean? So going into that year, man, I was just like, man, I want to win. Did I know we was gonna do that? No.
It was special though. It was special.
It was special.
Hey, Will, you talked about early on, right? And kind of, you said something kind of clicked, and whether it was the AO situation, or whether it was whatever that was going on. But you've also been open about like early on as a freshman, like not being a problem, but having some trouble, right? Being around high school ball now, right? Getting our kids recruited is at an all-time high with the transfer portal and people changing, jumping ship, this and the third.
And
I'm asking a two-part question here. One, do you think Will Franklin in today's age gets a chance to stay where he's at, or does he get shipped out for some of the things that went on as a freshman or early on, right? And number two, right? You weren't necessarily there with the introduction of NIL, but did you see college football changing while you were in it before it actually changed?
Yes. No, I don't think in this day and age with kind of the quick trigger coaches have, because of
Mm-hmm.
their span of coaching. Like they're not allowed to build in the amount of time that Coach Pickens was able to. It's a quick turnover game with head coaches because there's always a
Mm-hmm.
new guy that's coming up. Whenever it's a new guy of the month, everyone stays these high. So if it's a new coordinator over at this school, he's the next head coach up. So in this day and
Mm-hmm.
age, it's harder for the high school guys to really get those looks unless you're one of the top 100 guys in the country. And so it's almost like if you don't have a Coach Spoon or a Coach Macklin or a Coach
Mm-hmm.
Franklin that has resources to be able to make some phone calls and vouch for some kids to understand, like, hey man, you got something that can possibly walk in as a freshman and play. It's almost impossible for guys to really get it. You know what I mean? So uh, I just don't. It's hard, man. 'Cause coaching through it and trying to navigate some of the young men that we're coaching now to have patience with it and understand, hey man, you might have to take a smaller school to get to that big offer now.
Yeah.
And it's okay because
Mm-hmm.
now the recruiting pool is from the smaller schools. Hey, take what you can get. But watching that transition to, I can remember when the conversation started to happen with guys are going to start getting paid. And it was never a conversation about a cap. And I ended up creating a program at Mizzou, financial program to teach kids how to save money while in
Yeah.
college. I categorize your pill, categorize your monthly check, what possibly you can get paid based off who you are, but your name
Mm-hmm.
and likeness. Like I kind of put it all together and I gave to Pinkle and I later transferred it over to Drake because now it's no reason for you to leave college broke, right? You
No.
have all the resources, you're getting a certain amount of money. In our day and age, you left with a scholarship, man, you left with a degree, and that
Yeah.
was it, right? And so for me, it
Mm-hmm.
was just like I was trying to think ahead. One guy that took it to heart was Sean Copeland, who played tight end at Mizzou. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was sitting in the office with me and literally taking it in, and Sean ended up buying us the Beacon early on when he first got in the league based off the conversation that we had. So he was one of the first guys. But I seen these things happen, and it's just like, how can we help these young people that are about to come into money and life changing money at that age? It's
Mm-hmm.
already a hard transition for guys who are going from 22 to millions
Yeah.
of dollars and things. Now you're talking about 18, 19-year-old kids coming to this kind of money and everything that comes with that. And it's not a lot of people understand like just that transition when you go from being a kid to responsible for families.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you were still a kid, and so that maturity level on handling those things isn't what people understand because a lot never even been in that position. So for me, I was trying to get ahead of that curve and put something in front of them, at least to be a baseline where you can build on it or make it better. Because I don't want to see guys leaving college and you done made all this money, but you didn't get the chance to make it to the NFL, and now you don't really have to because you can make investment, you can do a lot of right things
Mm-hmm.
with your money in college, and you don't have to leave college broke and just with a degree and trying to figure out like how do I supposed to get into this world where I was just making 300,000 and it's a $20,000 job. It's the only job I can get based off my degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that I look at and I watch and it's just like, man, I wish I could have done more. Maybe should I stayed a little bit longer to try to help with that transition? Because that was really
Mm-hmm.
my role. I went from doing student coaching at one point to getting into that role based off with Odom providing that position for me. I want to just make sure that, hey, you have some type of baseline to help these young athletes and what they were coming into. And I feel for these guys right now because it's a blessing to get paid. We all know like what that transition is, man. When you are just that kid in college and you got your mom, your dad, and your immediate family to everybody your family. You know,
Everybody.
everybody your cousin and everybody needs and the lights cutting off, right?
Mm-hmm.
These kids are now experiencing that, and I feel for their mental on like how they're going to get through that, man. If I seen guys that didn't make it to the NFL out of college go through depression, like what are these kids are going to go through
Yeah.
when you're talking about making so much money in college, like what that transition look like, and how we are looking at just being honest, the suicide rate of young people, and so that's my kind of worry of where NLI is. And I hope we can
Mm-hmm.
kind of get a grip on helping with a bunch bunch of former guys like ourselves that can, you know, what I mean, talk back to these young men and get them to understand the importance of like really take care of yourself first. That's what you need
Mm-hmm.
to do for yourself. 'Cause, man, that's a different game.
Yeah. You know what? I would actually argue that you three as high school coaches probably have a bigger impact than the collegiate coach will have on a player because you get them for 4 years. Where at college, either you're going to leave and go to the league early or you're going to transfer early. I might get you for a year. And let's be honest, like how much can I imprint on you when you're there for the football season and you transfer in January? You know, I saw you for 8 months, if that. But you three get to talk to you guys for 4 years. You know what I mean? Through various sports, through various ups and downs, and start teaching at a very early age. Like, hey, when you get there, it will be like this because I've been in your shoes. And then when you get to the next level, to the league, I've been in those shoes too. It will be like this. So I would say the high school coaches have a very important role now in the development of these young men because they're about to go from being young men to grown men making a lot of money when they turn 18 at the college level. You know what I mean?
I don't
Go ahead, Spoon.
know. I'm about to say. Go ahead, Spoon. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you're right, Kevin, but everything in the world kind of points toward, this instant success as opposed to the impact that your time with someone could actually bring, and so I think it's being persistent is the key to really, getting through to someone like and being of support. That's what I really enjoy about being around the young men and
Hey,
women that
Blake.
I've coached, like that's just the it's like the silver lining because you can be, that conduit
Blake.
to help them get over the hump. And I heard Will mention Demetrius Johnson earlier. And I remember I used to see him with Coach Pinkel.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know like who he was, but I could just tell like he was
Same.
someone who's tied into the community in Missouri that, had a voice that could really help, getting kids on the right path. And I know I was really wanting Will to kind of elaborate on his legacy and kind of what he meant to him. But Matt, you can go ahead and keep talking about the impact that as young coaches that have walked the walk that these players are trying to walk and how that feels when
It's
you're
so
able
important.
to provide that to them.
I think one of the biggest things that I battle with right now is just like understanding, and not really even understanding because I do understand it, but accepting the fact that like things are just different now. And I think like while I can sit up here and say like it's hard pressed with just the landscape that any college active player will have the same type of like feeling that we had with Coach Pinkel and his staff. Like that would be a little like I want to say that, but I think that's a little unrealistic. I do think that really good programs, I still do think that those connections are made, right? I still think that those connections are made with those individual coaches, right?
If you get the time.
If you get the time,
If you get the time.
If you get the time. I will say this though, man, like being where I'm at right now, like there's no better feeling for me than when I get this 14-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid that comes in, he's not sure about himself, maybe shy, don't got very many friends, and instantly when he gets on that football field, there's 120 guys that he instantly gets a chance to become friends with. And then you see him over the course of 4 years find a friend group, right? Transform his body, can look you in the eye and say what's up or what's up, coach, and shake your hand. Like the confidence, like
Jinx.
That's what it's all about. Do I love coaching the 4-star, 5-star Jacob? I do. Jacob's been one of my favorite things. But I also love coaching this Gannon Sturdy, who was 320, who had never played ball before, came out as a junior, quit baseball because all of a sudden he fell in love with football and had a chance to go play Division I football after his senior year. Like, I also like that story right there is like, you know that you made an impact not only, but like he could look me in my eyes, smile, say what's up, coach. Like, so I do believe that like I think we play such a pivotal part now because I do think, like I said, everything is instant gratification right now. Everything is instant success. That's the way that the world is moving, so I'm sure you can find some of that still in that piece of it, but I still don't think you get what we get. And people don't see the hours that we put. Like, people don't see the phone calls and the meetings and the study blocks and all this and the third and I know coaches put a lot of work in, but we do it on such like a face-to-face personal level. Like,
you got a lot of hats, Mac.
Man, that
y'all wear so many hats.
Man,
that they don't quite understand. So I think everybody
willingly
asks, like, do I want to coach college ball? Maybe, right? I think right now I'm perfectly content. And honestly, if I do coach college ball, it's got to be for the right coach. But then also like, man, let's go coach together. Will, let's go. Let's grab Pig. Let's grab Zoe. Let's make it. I'm
Yep.
going to coach my guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
bro.
that's when I would do it. Because I know we all on the same wavelength.
Yep.
Will we have to conform like to the times a little bit? Of course.
Yeah,
But what's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
make us special is like we know what it's all about. At the end of the day, like I'm trying to make you a better person, right?
Period.
I'm trying to make
That's
you.
it.
I'm trying to get you like Will just talked about. Hey, if you don't get drafted, okay, well, how set up are you? Or are we able to attack life how we need to attack life? So I think that's
Yep.
what it's all about.
And I think that's the missing piece these young people in college are gonna like miss out on, man. Like we all can call our own head coach and have a conversation with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we often call our position coach and have a conversation. We often call our own recruiter and have a conversation with. That's the missing piece because I remember a year or two ago I was talking to not going to mention the school a college coach and he was just like, man, we giving guys 2 years, and I'm just like, man, redshirt year was important at one point
Yeah.
in time. Young
It
people.
was vital. I'd use that year. Yeah.
If right, you know what I mean? That was important because it's a transition a kid is going through, right? One, just the aloneness that you get from just being away from your family, no
Man.
matter where you are, right? Two, learning new friends, right? We all got our
Yeah.
high school friends that like we was with for the last 4 years, and now I'm coming into a new environment, new people, new staff members, new school, campus, and
Everything.
those personal relationships, right? And so you're asking a kid to come in and you'll give him a year and a half to figure out like how to be a college athlete. And for
That's
me, I
all you
think
give them.
that's like and I'm just like, dang, you know what I mean? So to your point, Spoon, like, man, it is on us to try to prepare these kids for the business now. Like it's not even college. Like I have to prepare you to understand like how to make decisions because this what it's about it now. It's no longer about like truly the development of you as a person that makes us be able to sit and have these conversations that we're having. Like, man, we had a college experience. Like, we
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
grew together. You guys came in together. You guys' relationship formed in an organic, genuine way,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if these young men are going to be able to say, man, like, I love my teammates and these my
Bro,
brothers for life.
listen,
You know what I
Nah.
mean? Like,
we're in each other's weddings. You was at the wedding. Like,
Yeah. 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 Like,
if I know you for 6 months, how do you like? And not saying that you don't got like you got friends other places, but like
that's
no.
it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
like that's the part of it that I feel like is like hard to like imagine that these 18 to 20-year-old 22-year-old young men are being able to experience now at these
Yep.
colleges because of how many moving parts that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yep. So
It's kind of
that's like it's sad, man.
it is sad.
It's
It's
sad
sad.
because I
Look.
think this what we able to do here, man, and to talk about like
All for
you
that.
can't. It's not enough money to give what we have. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
No.
you can't
Not at
buy it.
all.
You can't
you
buy
know
it.
what I mean? And so it's like this generation is going to miss that. I appreciate the money aspect of it for them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
that don't make us happy. Being able to call your brother when you're not right and you need a moment, or man, let's take a ride, or man, let's meet
Yeah.
up at this point or in this city, man, and just hang out, right? They're not going to have it in the sense of genuineness. They'll have it because they financially can do it.
Yeah.
They can do a lot of things financially in college now. Go on spring breaks, like
Yeah.
we kind of had to rally around to go on the spring break.
Yeah.
Now these boys out the country, I'm just like,
They got it.
Different, man.
I had to get to the league to go out the country.
Never left until then.
like,
Yeah.
what? I was happy to ride home somebody from Texas.
And
Like,
see, hey, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just me,
Yeah.
but even when we're back in Missouri, right? I can see someone that played 10 years before us, or maybe 5 years before us, and I know him because of Will, or because of Ruck, because of Zoe,
Yes.
or
Yes.
because of that. I saw him at
That
some point
connection.
while I was there. But when I see the younger kids like on the sideline now, I'm like, yo, who is that?
Yeah, a
I
little
don't,
different.
it's kind of standoffish, like a young,
A little
it'd be
different.
just a little different. And of course, we
Yeah.
gonna always break the ice, because I'm a
yeah,
historian. I know who's who,
for sure.
but
Yeah,
it's just a little different though. Like I might see Corby, and I'm like, yo, what's up? Like and I never
Every
played with
time.
him, never
Every
did
time.
not,
Every time.
but it just
every
come off
time.
like that. But
He
some
gonna
of the
come
kids, I'll
up,
be
give
like, yo,
us a
that's the
hug
first
every
round draft
time.
pick from last year.
Every
I ain't
time.
know,
Yeah,
I ain't even know that was him. Like he
Yeah.
ain't say
And he
nothing.
over there by himself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it be
yeah,
He not with his friends. I'm like, what you
it's
doing?
just a
Just
little
fuck with
different, man. These
us?
kids are businessmen. When you get that money, you try to quiet that noise from the outside, and everybody kind of internalize things, and you just kind of your own little self now. So I worry about it, man. I worry about some of these
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
younger guys.
let me, like I said, let me reiterate. Like, all change ain't bad. So, like, it makes some of this stuff
Right.
is
yeah.
not a bad thing. I don't want people to think that, like,
Right. We
Not
but
at
like,
all.
appreciate
You
you.
but like, I
bashing them?
do
Nah.
think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there are some really cool stuff that just doesn't exist anymore that we got to
Yeah,
experience,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Like that, like
yeah.
Will just said, like it's priceless. You can't put no money tag on it. It's
No,
priceless.
no. If I go to
Priceless.
St. Louis tomorrow, I can call Will.
Yeah,
Yeah. Easy.
easy,
And there's no, I can't put a number on that. Like if I'm
Nope.
stranded in St. Louis, hey Frank, I'm nearby. I got you.
easy.
And you just cannot put a number on that. Or Jamie, I call you. You know, it's just that's the aspect. I guess the kids today have never seen it, so they don't know what they're missing. But for us looking back, like, where your real relationships? You don't have anybody you can count on? You
They
guys
got
that
their little
money though.
Minecraft. Everybody got their
Hey,
little Minecraft world community they created for
Yeah.
themselves.
and I think the teams that have some of that are probably your teams that are doing well.
Yep.
Yes.
I think so too.
You
College
know what I mean?
football, though, you can see it. You can
Mm-hmm.
see it, man. One thing that I remember, especially with you guys, man, as y'all network, and Denario, man, I love that little dude.
Yeah.
The emotion you had, Mac, when you were declaring, right?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't for nobody. That's because,
No.
like, I'm gonna leave my friends,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I ain't got a choice at this point, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
not, oh man, shit, yeah, I'm leaving. Like,
I did my thing. I'm gone.
that's what you see now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that emotion, like that wasn't nothing like he didn't plan that. You know what I mean? Like for
No.
me, I'm looking at it as a addiction because I'm in my rookie. I'm just like, dang, you know what I mean? Like I know what he felt like. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But I'm happy, you know what I mean? Because this is what we all going to college for. This is why we putting on
Mm-hmm.
this uniform every week to go and change our family lives. I don't see that today in this generation. It's just like, man, you should have that. But the college programs that I'm looking at are succeeding. It's just
Man,
like that's what they have. They have
They
brotherhood.
enjoy
They
each other.
have real
Yeah.
friendship. They enjoy each other. You know what I mean? So, yeah, some programs are still doing it well. You can tell because their kids
Mm-hmm.
don't leave out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those that do
Yeah.
it, since we have the revolving door, the coaches' time is going short quicker. So are the players. It's almost like everybody on the lease. Like, all right, man. Like,
Yeah.
hey, man, I'm gonna resign this lease every year. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So the
Every
relationship is
year.
more a
it's
business
different.
transactional than it is like, hey, man, I'm here to help you grow as a man
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
handle the things that you are dealing with, which is the other side of life is for you guys is the financial side. Like you getting a lot
Mm-hmm.
of money, so I need to help you prepare you to really handle these things every day.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Look, Will, look, before we break,
Gang.
you have any last things you want to impart on us, man, or impart on any young man out there who will be in your shoes or who is trying to enter a space that you've entered, man? Anything you want to impart on any of the youth out there, man, before we break the show?
For me, I would say truly invest in your relationships, man. I think it took me years to really understand that. This
Mm.
world revolves around relationships and how you treat people, man. Man, being a good person, man, will forever change your life. You can go far. You can be in rooms that you never even entered by just being a good person. And
Mm-hmm.
so, always be prideful about your relationships and be willing to be uncomfortable. The best people have learned to be uncomfortable in rooms, and if you can continue to learn to be uncomfortable and build your relationships, and just have patience. That's the last thing I would say. Just have
Yeah.
patience with your
Yeah. In a world where patience is not, it's definitely a lost art for all the young guys, especially you young athletes. I got to get out of here now. I got to make this move now. Sit back. Be patient, man. Look, y'all heard it first from a true legend, the helicopter, Will Franklin. We're glad to have you again on True Sons, man. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Rutland. I'm here with Jeremy Mack and Sean Witherspoon, man. It's been a pleasure. Frank, we got to have you back on whenever you're free, man. Please join us
Hey
again.
man, man, thank y'all, man. This
Yeah.
was for me. Again, y'all my little brothers, man. Very proud of you guys and the man you guys became. It has also helped me push to continue to go forward. Man, I thank y'all, Mac. You know how I feel about you.
Dog,
You
Most
know what I
definitely.
mean?
my
Most
dog,
definitely.
man.
For sure. You know what I mean? Like that's no that's my dog right there, man.
Dog.
I'm super proud of the man he has became. Man, so, man, thank y'all.
Most definitely, man.
Most definitely.